When it comes to Turo, it's not about just renting out any car. It's about renting out the right car. In today's video, I'm going to explain what vehicles will make you the most money when it comes to renting out cars on the Turo platform. If you've been thinking about getting cars for Turo, you'll want to watch to the very end of this video because I'm going to tell you what cars are going to make you insane profit margins when you rent them on the platform, and what type of vehicles can end up with you taking $1,000 worth of L's. Understanding the different categories of vehicles is your first step to knowing what vehicles can be profitable or not on Turo. Let's discuss the different types of vehicles that you can rent out on the Turo app. The first thing that comes to mind a lot of times are exotic cars. So this can be the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, basically the really expensive cars that you see the gurus on the internet talking in front of. Then you have the luxury cars. A lot of times these are like the expensive foreigns, usually between $50,000 to $100,000. First thing you think about are like the Benzes, Lexus, BMWs, and Audis. After that, you have the economy cars. This is going to be the most common car that you see out in the streets every day. When you think of this, you think about Hondas, Toyotas, Hyundais, and then you have sports cars as well. Things like muscle cars, which are like Chargers, Challengers, Hellcats, and then you also have the 4x4s. So things like souped up Wranglers, off-road vehicles like that. And then lastly, you also have the specialty cars. So specialty cars are things like slingshots and classic automobiles as well. As you can see, there are a wide variety of vehicles that you can actually rent out on the Turo platform, which is such a big reason that the Turo app is in demand for renters. Before we discuss which of these vehicles will secure you the biggest bag, make sure you thumbs up this video and subscribe to the channel so we can push it out to more bag chasers like yourself and continue to secure this bag along the way to financial freedom. Also, if you're really serious about starting your own Turo fleet, make sure you download my free cheat sheet, which will give you the top 10 things that you need to know when starting out on the Turo platform. I'll link that down in the description below. Now that you know the different type of vehicles you can rent out on the Turo app, I gotta tell you, there's not one specific best vehicle you can rent on the app. Instead, there's a criteria vehicle that you should buy that will make more profit margins and make you more successful on the platform as a new host. The most profitable vehicle on the Turo app are going to be the everyday economy cars. These are going to be your average day-to-day cars, the ones that you see more frequently out in the streets. They're usually going to be affordable and easy to obtain, mid-size sedans, SUVs, and you want to make sure they're durable brands and models as well. A key when looking into this type of criteria vehicle is searching and trying to get used model vehicles. In the case of Turo, you can get models up to 12 years and back. In the instance of 2022, you can actually go back to 2010 and get these type of everyday economy cars. And for me, I like to look in places like Facebook Marketplace as well as auctions to find these type of vehicles. Now, when it comes to models of economy cars that I like to look into for my fleet, the main brands all have 2 to 3 cars that are very similar, and you can get different models as well. So what I mean is you can start with like Toyota Prius, Camry, and Corollas, but you also have Honda Civics, Accords, as well as Hyundai Elantras, Sonatas. Some other of my favorites are things like Nissan Sentras and Cruzes as well. Another very popular model of economy cars on the Turo app are going to be the small SUVs. So you have like the CRVs, the RAV4s, the Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucsons, things like that. Those SUVs are very popular as well. But all in all, the point here is the most profitable type of vehicle you're going to see is the economy car. Now, an actual example of this in my fleet is my 2009 Ford Focus compared to my 2021 Tesla Model 3. I bought my Ford Focus for about $4,000 and it nets me about $600 to $900 a month. Whereas though my Tesla Model 3, I financed that and it cost about $70,000 overall, and it does bring in about $2,000 to $3,000 per month. But the profit margins on a car that you only paid $3,000 or $4,000, where it can bring you in $800 a month, is immensely more than a car that you pay $70,000 on and get $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So I know that's just one personal example in my fleet, but overall, I think you get the idea that if you can buy a car for a couple $1,000s and make an immense return on that almost every month, you're probably going to make more than you bought the car for in about the 6th to 7th month. When you get something like an exotic car, a luxury car, you're going to be paying on that for about 3 to 4 years before you can actually pay off that entire vehicle, because it costs so much more. I know you see the influencers on the internet standing in front of 10 Lamborghinis and Ferraris telling you to start your TURO car rental business, but believe me, the everyday economy car are the real money makers when it comes to new TURO hosts getting onto the platform and really succeeding. Let me give you a few other reasons why I really believe economy cars are the best to start with on the TURO platform as well. First off, the low barrier to entry to get them, which means they're really easy to get. These economy cars usually only cost a couple $1,000s. Like I said, I got my Ford Focus for about $3,000. The max I spend on economy cars is usually about $5,000 to $7,000, which means you can actually get them from places like Facebook Marketplace or just private sellers. The key is, the better the deal you get, the more profit margins you're going to get. Another thing, when you buy them outright in cash, is that now you can get commercial insurance on a vehicle. And this is a huge bonus in the long run, just because you get to protect your vehicle on the highest level. With the low cost that comes with economy cars comes the higher profit margins. If you only have to spend a few $1,000s to get the car, in peak seasons where you can make almost $1,000, and in regular months where you make a few $100s, you can literally make back the total cost of the car in about 6 to 8 months. And that's what I've seen in my economy cars, that has been a high profit margin. Once I get past that first year, everything that I make with that car is literally profit. But not only the monthly revenue, but when I go sell the car, I can still get a few $1,000s back. Or if the car happens to get totaled on the platform, I'm definitely going to get a few $1,000s back, and that's probably going to give me the initial purchase anyway. Another big reason I really like economy cars on the TURO platform is that there's a much bigger demand than any other type of car. Most of the time when somebody flies into a new city, if their car goes down and they need to rent one, just everyday needs of a renter, they're going to go for an economy car as opposed to a luxury or exotic. Yes, the daily rate on exotics or luxury may be more, but there's a specific niche or space for renters that need those cars. Those cars are really popular in areas that are really touristy, like the Miamis and the Atlantas and the Californias. Yes, if you're in that environment, then you can have high demand for exotics as well. But as I said, this video is for the more common new TURO hosts pretty much everywhere. Lastly, when you wrap all those things together, overall, there's just less risk when you go buy economy cars and add them to your TURO fleet. And this falls right in line with my overall blueprint to winning in the car sharing and TURO space, which is to maximize profits, minimize risk, and automate your business so you can get your time back. So if you're still watching this video, it's time to take this information and incorporate these elements into your TURO fleet so you can be well on your way to a more profitable car sharing business. If you want even more tips and gems to running a successful TURO car sharing business, make sure you tap in with this playlist where I go into a lot more ways where you can make more money and really secure this bag. Let's get it.